height of 3-ish, 2.7 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. So with that, the 10.5 and the 2.7, I would find where on the page I would like to do that. So maybe around here, 1/3 of the page would be good. So I would first start off with drawing the lowest point, because 2.7 is like that. This is really based on estimation. So I would put the baseline around here and then just draw again the 2:5:2 guide. If at any time I'm going too fast, please feel free to just unmute yourself and stop me. So this page is 21 centimeters, I'm assuming, based on this very trippy ruler. So my middle would be about 10.5. Yes, so around here. So I would just mark out the middle because I would like everything to be centralized as well. Yeah, so just like that. Okay, and then you'll find out later that we have quite a few drafts for this. So just with the pilot parallel 3 mm, I'm not sponsored, but I wish. I would start, oh, sorry, I forgot to mark out my 10.5. So 10.5 divided by 2, that would be 5.25. Oh, thank goodness for my assistance today. Yes, so I would just mark 5.25 on both sides. So I know roughly where to start. And here is where the fun begins. I'm going to start writing. Let's hope this works. Okay. So this is just a rough layout piece. Yeah, whatever I'm doing now, I would redo it later. So you don't have to be so accurate with your strokes. You don't have to be so precise with everything. Just maybe something to watch out for would be the spacing, because you do want to know if you're marking out everything correctly. Yeah. Is that how you spell grateful? Is it? Oh, very good. Thank you. 4, F-O-R. That's how you spell 4. Yeah. Yeah, so today I've chosen to use gothicised italics by which I was taught to by Nina a while back, because I feel that I write it the fastest. And yes, as you can tell, I'm all about the speed. I'm kidding. So this is a bit off, but not by a lot. So I know to take that into consideration when I'm doing my final piece. Yeah. So now I will move on to planning how tall I would like my pointed pen script to be. A rule of thumb would be 2/3. What I realized from the work that I've done, 2/3 of the ascender or descender height, which in this case is 6 mm, and 2/3 of that would be 4 mm, right? Thanks, guys. I love my helpers today. So also a thing to note, if you're doing this, like how I am, and if you have descenders, let's just go back and check the quote. We attract the lives. Oh, we don't have descenders. That's great. So we can start straight away from here. Okay, I'll just remove the guides on the bottom. so that we don't get distracted. And let me find a normal ruler. Thank you. This is great. They just come out of nowhere. Okay, let me check. So what some of my friends like to do is put a piece of paper down to make sure it doesn't smudge. I don't usually do that, but today, because I have quite a few of you here and I don't want to mess this up, I'm going to do that. Put a piece of Starbucks tissue there, and then I will start marking out my X height for my pointed pen, which is 4 mm. So for today, I'll be using also a 2:1:2 for my pointed pen, which means my ascender will be 8 mm, and then my X height will be 4 mm, and my descender will be 8 mm. I'm sorry. Okay, let's just mark that out first. This is 8, and then this is 4, and this is 8 again. Okay, let's mark that out first. Sorry if I'm turning the book a lot. I just find it easier to draw straight lines vertically than horizontally for some reason. Let's do that. And then we'll do that again. Okay, so just for these kind of layout, I would reduce the X height here between the two pointed pens, because if you see, if I draw it like this, okay, I'm going purely on estimation. Okay, let me just tilt this straight. If you see this, would be your X height, right? And then this would be your descender, and then the ascender for the second line. And this is just really social distancing level 10. It's really quite far. So what I would do, instead of having this 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2 units, I would merge these two into a 3. What I mean by that is, trying to find an empty space, is that this would be 2 units, or 2 times 4 mm. This would be 1 unit. This would be 3, so that the ascender and descender actually share 1 unit. Does that make sense to everyone? I'm only seeing Dorothy nodding and 2 thumbs up in front of my face. Ah, very good. Thanks, guys. So reassuring. So I will just erase this and then add that in. Sorry for the mild earthquake. I'm trying to use my thighs to stabilize the table. Is it working? Yes, very good. So 4, 8, 12. I will just go ahead and draw that here. And then the 4 mm, and then the 8. Okay. How are we doing for time? 10:22. Very good. So I actually haven't been teaching since 2000 something or rather, not formally. So a lot of awkward silence. I'm sorry, guys, but okay, we'll work through this. I will use these guides now. I know it's a bit tricky because this is 5 mm, but I would like for you to try to imagine the horizontal lines are not here, because I really need the guides for this. So I'm just going to put that behind the page. And I don't know if you can see that, but yes, you can see that. Very good. So I have the slant angle that I want to keep on. So again, the quote is, "We attract the life we are grateful for." So I would start with "we are" because it's shorter and easier to manage. So this is the center line. Don't worry about the grateful for, I'll move it later. or rather, actually, let's do it now. I will change my center line to the middle of this grateful for. So if you can see here, it's a 9.5, right? And 9.5 divided by 2 is 4.75. Thanks, guys. So I will just mark that, and this will be my new center line. Very efficient, right? Okay, so we are, perhaps I would place it here and just do a rough we are. Yeah, that's pretty centered if I do say so myself. And then the first line, we attract the life. So it's very messy on this draft page. Don't worry about that. We'll clean it up later. So we attract the life. Let's start here and pray for the best. We attract. Very rough. There we go. Also not too bad. So now I will just identify the descenders that I have to work with, because another question which I get asked quite a bit is, how do you marry the two? Because one is very, very, I don't want to be too incorrect, but it's very feminine. It's very light, I would say. And the other one is more, it's a bit heavier and more rough, I guess. Am I describing these correctly? I don't know. But how I marry the two is with flourishes. Because even...
See, they don't have a pump room at all. The pump is...
Oh, was that a question? No? Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay, so I identified that, I came to that conclusion because of all of these. We still have the hairlines, and that's our common denominator here. So how I married the two is with flourishes. So I wanted to make it look like one piece rather than two separate words. So with that, I will actually show how I work on filling up the gaps, making it look like one piece. So you can see, because we have centralized it, we have these two spaces here on the side, right? Okay, so we have all the ascenders to play with, a descender here, as well as all of these hairlines. Okay, I'm not at all sure if this is right, but it works for me. So I will usually just fill in the gap, maybe use this ascender to fill in here first, the first oval. And then I have the W, which I have left undone here. Maybe I can pull this out and then create another horizontal oval. So what we are looking for is actually balance in the piece. So if you see, the sizes of my ovals are somewhat similar. It's like I would never do this, because that's just, it looks a little strange in comparison with the rest. So if I wanted to flourish that, maybe I could have this W cross the T, right? Oh, there are two T's here as well. So I'm going to try this out. There we go, right? Sort of works. And then maybe just, because I already have one that's intersecting three T's, don't want to blow the reader's mind, I'll just add in a normal crossbar for the fourth T in the line here. And then the life, I guess you could add another one here, but I'll just bookmark that idea first. So moving on to the broad edge, how do we add flourishes to a broad edge? Honestly, I have no idea, but the way that I do it is, you see, all of these strokes kind of have movement in them, the way you tilt the pen, the way you create the hairline. So I choose to go with the flow of the letters. So for example, if I'm coming out of this hairline, maybe I want to come here, right? Just bring that out. Nope, that's not working because I have the F. So let's start with an easier one like this F in the middle, okay? This one is going out this way. So what I can do is when I'm inking the piece, maybe pull the F a bit lower and then have this little thing in the center. See that? So keeping my ovals horizontal according to the slant and all that good stuff that we watch on Nina's live every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Singapore time. Yeah. So yes, that looks. I think I will keep that. That looks nice. And this space is a bit empty though. So let's go back there and see what we can do there. Maybe this G, or maybe here. Yeah, here. Let's try this. This is a little unconventional. So bring this out and over. Yeah. That sort of works. But now we have these two fish tails, fish loops. So maybe I'll remove this one. I mean, you could keep it if that's what you like, but just for today, I'll remove that one. And then there we go. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, I think that sort of works. Okay. So now here is a little unbalanced. I don't know if you guys can see that. I don't know how else to explain it rather than you squint and you see if it's balanced. So I feel that this area and this area are both underutilized. So I will just go ahead and maybe do something with the H, wherever you're from, however you say it. And I will do this. Oh, wow, would you look at that? What did I do? Right. Yeah. So, but you see how this is a trial and error thing. Now that I have this curve also looks a bit like you've seen it before. So what I would do now is change this curve. Yeah, we're doing a lot of erasing. So maybe something similar to this one, where it's like a sideways 8 infinity thing. Yep, and just like that, it looks like it's got a bit more depth. Right? Yes. I said to myself, love it. And then we're left with this area right here. Let's see, which alphabet do you guys think I could use for this area? Let's see. Maybe you guys could have a think, and I'll just look at the chat to see if there are any suggestions. Okay? Classic F. Is that what you suggested, Priyanka? Yeah, let's try that. But because we already have this, we don't want to do that again. Let me remove the grab. Sorry, I should have done that just now. And maybe from the top. Yeah, I'll give it a try from the top. So if you see, actually, not only can you start from here, but you have this to play with as well. So actually, any of the parallel lines for this, you can, maybe the L, Nadia, yeah, maybe you can try the L as well. So we'll try the F and L, okay? So just for the F, I'll start with here because it's a little unconventional, and I think I'd like to show you guys hopefully something useful. Yeah. So if I were to bring this out this way, yeah, I could actually mimic this flourish to a T. There we go, right? And it kind of looks like a butterfly now. Quite symmetrical, quite interesting. Yeah, I think that looks decent. But now I'm not happy with this one. So I will just change this. Oh, is anybody writing with me today? I would love to see your work later. Yeah. Oh, I see. The voices in my head are having a discussion. So maybe here we could have something like this, yeah? Because we've got quite a lot going on here. So maybe something like this. Yeah, and then we can use this, the we are, which I have totally neglected until now. The entry stroke, yes. Ooh, oh, this is a stretch. This looks strange. I apologize. Please just pretend you didn't see that. Let's see. What other alphabet can I use? Any suggestions? You could also flourish the W mirror. Oh, that's brilliant. I could, yeah. I could do that. Could I? Okay, we'll bookmark that idea. Very good idea, Dindy. Okay, I'm going to show you guys a trick. It's kind of a secret, but when I can't find anywhere to flourish, I'll just put in a stroke that doesn't connect to anything. So if I just want to fill this in, maybe I'll do something like this. You see that? And nobody would know. Nobody would know because it kind of looks like it's part of the piece. But now that I've told you and you know, I can't do that. So okay. Okay, we have a bit of time, so I'm just going to experiment with this. Okay, this F. Okay. Thanks, Dorothy. Very reassuring. Okay. Okay. Another thing you guys can think about is following the curve. Okay, so if I do this funny thing here, and if I follow that curve nicely, see how that just sort of works. Yeah, I don't like to intersect too many at an angle. I think this kind of 90-degree angle is good for intersection. Like if it was maybe something like this, that would be a bit too much. Yeah.
So can you move a little bit to your right? Can you move the paper a bit to the right to centralize it?
Is it better? Is that better?
Yeah, that's better. Thanks.
Okay, I'm just trying to centralize it even more. Please don't screenshot my face right now. I look deranged. Okay, that's great, right? Okay, good. Okay, so maybe I'll keep this. And then I'll add a little teardrop here just to cover the space because we have a lot of empty space there. Yeah. Yeah, I think that'll work. What do you guys think? Oh, see how I did that here too? Wow. I didn't even know that happened. Great. Okay, so I actually do see some empty space here, but we can fill that in later when we ink it. And I will try to ink this. Yes. Today I will use my Kyono Oto purple because I can't pronounce the Japanese name. Okay. Let me put this over here where I can't knock it over. Oh, this is a pen I made, by the way. Thanks, Dorothy, for inspiring me. It's very short, but it really fits. Like, check that. It really fits in my hand. Okay, for all of you doubters. So I'm just going to ink this. You can play a podcast in the background. Maybe watch a mystery documentary. Do whatever you like, because it might get a bit quiet. Okay. So when I'm flourishing, I wouldn't go straight for it yet because I don't know where the piece will end up. So I'll just leave it there like that for now. Fill in the rest first. Always stop at a hairline, by the way. Never ever stop at a shade because it's harder to pick up where you started from when you're shading. Okay, it's not at all accurate, guys, but I'm pressed for time. I'm being watched. I have a camera in my face. Give me a chance, okay? That is the correct spelling. Okay. See? Yeah, see how I started off with that hairline first? For the flourish later. We'll save that for later. Nice. this could actually very well end up being an actual piece if I erase everything correctly. But if you guys want to redo it, that's fine too. So, okay. So a pro tip, wait for the ink to dry. But I don't have time for that today, so I'm gonna just go for it, okay? So after I've done this line, I'm just gonna flourish this. Usually I would turn the paper and do it this way, but just to spare you guys the motion sickness, I will try to do it this way for today, okay? This is quite fun. Maybe I'll start doing Instagram Live too. Hey, Dorothy. Oh, she's gone. Where did she go? Okay. Send W. Remember, the ink here is wet. If any of you are writing, please be careful. There we go. Oh, this is a bit too close, but let's try this. And then oh no, oh no. Okay, see, this happens a lot. So that's okay. We can do that again later, tomorrow maybe. And then the VR. So now when I'm inking it, it looks a bit sad that the VR is a bit disjointed from everything else. So maybe I will just spontaneously add something here. Does this work? Does this work, please? Christmas miracle. Sort of works, yeah? Yeah, so that happens a lot. Improvise. So that's what we do as calligraphers, yeah. I'll show you again how I fix these shaky lines. I'm like revealing all my secrets today. I'll start with this. So always start inside within the black or within whatever color you're using. You can cut to, oh no, okay. Very good. Okay, so with these shaky lines, which happens when you're forced to write at angles you're not comfortable with, maybe you're pressed for space as well. So we're all working from home now. We don't have a lot of space at home. You can cover that up later with little balls. I think you can see in a lot of my works on Instagram, I have little balls floating around, and you all think that's for decoration. No, it's to cover my shaky lines, my mistakes. So like, for example, here, where you can see this, what do? You add a ball. Wow, very nice. Then you add another one here, maybe two, and then one here, and just like that, it looks intentional. Looks like I don't have shaky hands, but I do. Okay, I apologize. This one is really bugging me now, but I don't really have the time to redo that. So I will just make it work. Right? Christmas miracle. Quite like the butterfly look. And actually, because I'm not rewriting the grateful, what I can do here to make it look like it came from the F is follow the curve of that F into this flourish. Just like that. Okay. So I will cover this again with a circle here to distract you. Very many circles everywhere. Okay, so what do we do with this empty space? I can use a different color to add on some foliage, flowers, leaves. I'm going to change to a red, also by Kano Auto. And this one, I really have to turn the page, so I apologize for that. So what I'm going to do here is maybe add just some little curves like this to follow that flourish, that crooked flourish. And then because I don't want to bring too much attention to that, I can add more here to make it look like it's part of the piece, like it was planned. I mean, it sort of is, right? We're planning that now. And some here, because there's a big gap here that was burst from my shaky hand. So I will just add.
Cannot see.
Cannot see. Oh, sorry. There we go. Here. See? So again, when you're adding like these wispy lines, this personality lines, I like to call them, try to follow whatever curve is around it. So like, imagine you have water going this way. Then where will your little sampan go, Maybe here, like that. right? You would flow something like that. You would not, for instance, wow, how do I do this? Yeah, yeah, right? Because that is too close and it looks like maybe your boat got problem lah, right? So we're going to just do this here and then follow the flow again. So yeah, that's a good tip. Pat myself on the back to go with the flow of the flourishes. See how you can just add 3 more there, and we can do that again here. Yeah, the same principle because we mirrored that flourish, right? Yeah, and I think that looks pretty, apart from this space here that maybe, oh, remember the dots that we add on the line? Yeah, to make it look even more intentional, you can add some here too. Add that around the piece. Sprinkle that like glitter. See how that looks so much more intentional now? Yeah, just to fill up the empty gaps, kind of like Christmas bubbles, right? Yeah, I think that's okay. What do you guys think? Interesting. Let's see. Wow, I did that in 45 minutes. That's great. Maybe we can, let's see. Draw lines. Oh, yes. Okay. So putting this aside, I will just leave it on screen. I will talk about more on how to define the X height for your pointed pen. Yeah, because it's actually a balancing game where you want to balance out the thickness and weight of your Gothicised italic or broad edge or whatever you're doing with the pointed pen. And that can be very tricky because the pointed pen is so skinny and this is so fat, right? So for example, let's see if I have an example here. For this piece, yeah, you can see that I have used a very much thinner nib for my broad edge, and then I used the same X type for the fly because I wanted both to have equal weight. Whereas for this, your eyes are immediately drawn to the grateful for, which is our focus of this piece, right? Let's see if I have other examples in my book here. Oh, and you can do this with any script. I mean, you're not confined to Gothicised italics. You're not confined to anything. Like for some of my practice, I do. Can you see that? Oh, red ink. Yeah. I'll just flip through. Maybe you can stop me. This is when I tried using my very tiny tip and just trying out different sizes to see what I can work with. Oops. Ah, yes, this piece. So I will be touching on how to use metallics later. So maybe we can put the knowledge we've gained from this class, if any, to ink a piece later. Yeah. So what I did here is I mixed the metallics with fountain pen ink. Yeah. And we'll talk more about that later. Forget about that. Ah, here. See, this is where I planned the piece. I had initially wanted to use like a fracture, but I don't know what it feels like to you guys, but it feels too angry for me, like tonight we fly, you know? So maybe a more feminine spirit, maybe a smoother one. Then I tried it with unshow and foundational, and those also didn't do it for me. Okay, ignore that. That's my signature design. Sorry, guys. Oh no, I did it so okay. Oops, I did it so many times. I apologize. Yeah, and then there's this piece also where you can see that I had to redo it many times because it wasn't working out for me layout wise. So don't worry about having to write it again. That's why we have these these ready-to-go guide sheets, so you don't have to draw them over and over again. And you can just, yes, this I think was the final one that I went with also. So looking back at it now, this chart looks a bit empty, yeah. It looks even emptier on the screen and maybe here. So yeah, things that look good to you in the moment, you might look at it again the next day, the next week, and think I could add extra things. Yeah, maybe I could have done something here. Could have, should have, would have, but didn't, right? It's okay, we learn. Okay, yes, thank you for that. Let me see, we are so on time, this is great. Maybe we can, I'll go through the comment section. Maybe you guys can chat if you would like. If you have questions, you can just shout them out to me. Wave about. Oh yes, thanks Dorothy. Sampan is the Malay word for boat. It's like a raft, like a curved raft. Yeah. Okay, let me see. Are there any questions?
Does anybody
If
want to
there are
share
any,
your work? Anyone
yeah,
want
let
to
me
share your work? Or you
stop sharing. Oh, Judith, that's okay.
Oh,
Oh no, my computer is hanging. Oh, that's my face.
oh, nice.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, with foul calligraphy. Yes, great.
That's great.
Nice.
Oh wow. Oh, Dorothy, how do I exit the visualizer? Oh no, okay, I did it. I managed to do it.
Yeah,
Okay,
you've
let's
done it.
see. What is my, oh, okay, thanks for that. Let's see. Yeah, are there any questions? If there are, just shout them out. If you have any
Oh,
you're
Rachel.
not sure of.
Rachel wants you to talk about metallics and broad pen for those who cannot attend the next session. But we're going to record,
Oh, okay.
right?
Yeah,
We're going
I have,
to
yes. We will record it. It will be on
because it's
YouTube.
like 4 a.m. for her right now.
Oh no, poor thing. Okay, I'll show you some work just for you, okay, Rachel? Let me organize my mess. You guys can unmute and chat if you would like. Okay? Did I do? Okay, there we go. Very good. Let me switch on the visualizer again, share screen. Visualizer. Is that okay? Can you guys see? Is that okay? Yes, thanks, Judith. Very good. So later I will actually be showing you guys how to use metallics with broad edge and pointed pen. So for broad edge, I think we often find ourselves having a hard time doing the hairlines. Yeah, and this is just for you, Rachel, but you can use sandpaper to actually make your broad edge nib thinner, finer. Okay, I will explain more later in the later class. But so I know a lot of people, including myself, are very afraid of ruining their very expensive nibs with brows or whatever, you know. This is $2 from Shopee. Okay, I will drop the link on my Instagram. Shameless plug. No, I actually got a set of 5. You can see it actually also comes with a reservoir, and it brought 3 today. So it comes in a set of this for with a pen, a very skinny, not so nice pen for $2.55 Singapore dollars. So that would be like 150 US. Yeah, so they're very affordable. So you just, and they're very hardy. I've been using this for 6 months, and it's still pretty hardy. Yes. And I've sanded the top. I don't know if you can see that. It's a bit rougher. It holds the ink well as well. Not, oh. There we go. Okay, I can't move from here, but yeah, let me try to tilt it so you can see. Yeah, I've actually sanded this area so that the metallic inks stay on the pen a bit better. Yeah, because I know it can be a chore to like write and then dip and then write and paint, and then it's an ordeal. And then I will show also later how to do gradients, like this part here, where you can see the 2 different inks. This is by the Creative Kind, can check them out on Instagram. They're actually also a color shift. Can I capture that on the camera today? Can I? Oh, it's almost there. Sort of. Okay, doesn't really work, but trust me, in real life can one. And yeah, so we all have this problem here also with the hairlines, right? Because of the thicker pigment. So I will be dropping some names of some local paint artists, paint makers, not local from everywhere. I don't know what I'm talking about. People who make paint. I will drop who is better for hairlines and which are better for broad edge. This is also a gradient piece and Flower Tales by Kathleen. Yeah, and I have a lot of swatches also. Maybe I can show now just for Rachel's sake so she can go to bed dreaming about metallics. This is by Ines Metallics. Hey, shout out to you. This is my favorite jade. Everybody knows because everyone who asks me which to get, I will say jade. So it shows up differently on black. So that's the thing about dual tones. They'll show up differently on white or black paper. So when I'm doing swatches, I usually have a black page and a white page, and I'll do it in broad edge and pointed pen, you know, just to see what they look like. So some colors you really don't get. This is by Jubilant. Jolene, yes, I hope. And this is also by Jubilant. Yes. So some colors show up better in broad edge, some are nicer with pointed pen. And later also, I will show you how to embellish. I don't know if you can see this little galaxy in metallics on the broad edge. Yeah, yes. So that will be for later. As you can see, I started this book in August and I finished it last month. So calligraphy is my life. Kidding. I mean, I'm not kidding, but yeah, it's really so therapeutic. That's why we're all here. Let me stop screen sharing so I don't make a mistake. Let's see, any other questions? Thanks, Dorothy. Yeah, and Flower Tales and the Creative Times. Let me just type in there metallics and Jubilant. Okay, do we have any other questions? You can unmute yourself. I'm done. Yes.
Stop making me want to buy more watercolors.
Oh, you just bought some. Yeah, thank you all for attending.
Somebody wants to know what notebooks.
Okay. Very good. Shameless plug again. I'm not sponsored, but if anybody knows MD Midori and wants to, you know, drop an email, say, Tan Susian, use your book, you know, go ahead. But no, I'm using the Midori book. So let me switch. I'm so sorry. I keep sharing screen and then unsharing. There we go. So they actually have a range of books. Okay. So this is the Midori MD notebook made in Japan. I like this because you can see the guide. It's not as thick, and this is the blank one. So they have lines, they have squares, they have dots, and they even have this one which I had to buy because they were out of stock of the blank one, where it has this, which I thought that would encourage me to write the date, my practice. As you can see, it didn't work. It's still blank. It's always like this with me. Oh, I did it though with the first one. See? Yeah, I did the first one. I did the second one. And yeah, and then it just stopped. Yeah, that's okay. So yeah, this I will show this later also. You see how the ink has sheen? So I'm trying to capture that here. Yeah, and I just outlined it with some more metallics. It's all good fun, yeah. Don't worry, Rachel, it'll be on YouTube so you can listen to my very shaky voice over and over again. This sometimes you can just use the metallics for embellishment. Yeah, so little things. You can see again the dots. I wasn't kidding when I say I use it to cover up mistakes all around. Yeah, this is a Sarah Scripps prompt. You can check her out as well. Very fun stuff there. Yeah, also later I will cover this writing on textured paper. It's terrible for broad edge. I tell you first, but we'll try to make it work. Okay, because I really like this thing going on here. Yeah. So we'll try to reenact that later if I ever stop sweating. And then just yeah. So I do a lot of guides. It's no shame in that. Like some people say like I'm still a noob. I need to do grids. I need to do lines. But grids are the new black, man. Just do it. You know, they keep you in check. This is by Nina, by the way. I learned this from Nina. This line framing. Yeah, I don't know who I can't remember who she learned it from, but learned it from Nina. Maybe I'll go through that later. Spread the knowledge. Maybe not. We'll see if we have time. Okay. I'll stop sharing. Do you have any other questions? Traditional.
Thank you.
Okay. No problem. Thank you for everything. Thank you for coming and bearing with me for the past couple of minutes, hours. 1 hour.